Hello, and I hope you've had a great week so far, wherever you are in the world. So let's get started. So, whilst my competitors are trying to go viral, I'm buying the keywords of people ready to buy right now. And that's it. That's the whole strategy from start to finish. It's not particularly sexy, and it's certainly not going to get me on the cover of a magazine. But what it is going to get me is customers. And in the world of SME businesses, customers are the only metric that matters. For the last few years, the marketing world has been obsessed with a single idea: virality. And it's a trap, and it's a losing game for most of us because you're not in the business of getting views. You're actually in the business of solving problems on behalf of your customers. And the people who have problems, they're willing to pay to solve those problems. And they aren't scrolling through TikTok, they're searching on Google or YouTube or going on to AI. So today we're cutting through the waffle. We're going to get straight into the practical step-by-step framework I call high intent search arbitrage. And this is about being smart, not just loud. It's about being effective, not just famous. And I'm going to walk you through exactly how to do it. So let's get into it. First things first, what we need to do is we need to have a bit of a mindset shift. Stop thinking about top of the funnel and brand awareness and start thinking about that wallet out moment. This is the point where a prospect has moved past awareness and is actively searching for a solution to a painful problem. And they're not just browsing, they're not just curious, they have a problem they are willing to pay to solve today. And they're actively looking for someone to solve it. Someone searching for how to fix a leaky tap is in research mode, but someone searching for emergency plumber near me is in wallet out mode. They have a problem and they need it solved urgently. Your job is to find your equivalent of emergency plumber near me. And that starts with finding your wallet out keywords. Now, this is the most important step, so we're going to spend some real time here. And you need to get inside the head of your ideal customer and figure out what they're searching for when they're ready to buy. This isn't about guessing, it's about a systematic process of discovery. And here's the practical exercise. Open a spreadsheet right now, and we're going to build your ideal keyword list together. So, first, list your top 5 problems, not the services you offer, the problems you solve. For example, if you're a marketing consultant, you solve the problem of not enough leads. If you're a software company, you solve the problem of inefficient processes. Be specific. If you're a leadership coach, you solve the problem of high staff turnover or a toxic team culture. Write down the top 5 painful problems that keep your ideal customer awake at night. Next, how does your customer describe it themselves? For each problem, write down 5 different ways a customer might describe it in their words. They're not using marketing jargon, they're using their day-to-day language, and they're using that plain English. So not enough leads becomes my sales team is not busy enough, or our sales pipeline is dry. Inefficient processes becomes my team is wasting time on manual tasks, or our project management is a mess. How do you find this language in the first instance? Talk to your existing customers. Go back and read the first email they ever sent to you. Listen to the exact words they used on your initial discovery call. This is absolute gold, and your customer's own language is the best source of keywords you're ever going to find. Then brainstorm 3 specific search queries. So for each description, come up with 3 specific search queries a customer might use. Let's stick with the not enough leads, for example. A customer might describe it as, my sales team is not busy enough. A search query might be, how to generate more leads for my sales team. This is still a bit of top of the funnel informational, and a better one might actually be lead generation services for B2B companies. Now we're getting a bit warmer. They're looking for a service. The wallet out query is best B2B lead generation agency in the UK. That's it, and that's where the money is. They're looking for the best, they're specifying their location, and they're looking for an agency. So how do you know if a keyword is a wallet out keyword? Look for commercial intent modifiers. Let me explain that. These are words that signal someone is ready to buy, not just browse. And here's a list you can steal. For service-based searches, look for words like services, company, agency, consultant, provider, firm. For purchase-based searches, look for pricing, cost, quote, buy, rates, and fees. For comparison-based searches, review best, top, alternative, versus, comparison. For location-based searches, near me, or a specific city like London or Manchester, or even a specific borough or district. And for urgency-based searches, look for things like 24/7, fast, same day. When you combine a problem with one of these modifiers, you get a high intent keyword. Lead generation plus agency equals lead generation agency. That's a buyer. Website design plus pricing equals website design pricing. That's a buyer. Now you have a list of potential keywords. It's now time to validate them with data. And here are the tools that you can use from free to paid with more detail on how to use them effectively. So the first that I'm going to talk about is Google Keyword Planner. And this is probably the best place to start. It's inside your Google Ads account. It's free to use and the data comes directly from Google. Here's how to use it in detail. Go to your Google Ads account, click on Tools and Settings, then Keyword Planner. Choose Discover New Keywords, enter one of your brainstormed phrases. Let's use B2B lead generation services, for example, and Google will give you a list of ideas. Now, the important part here is to filter. Look for the Refine Keywords option. You can filter by brand name, services, and other attributes. And this helps you narrow down the list to the most relevant terms. Pay attention to the columns, average monthly searches, competition, and top of the page bid, and low range to high range. You're looking for a sweet spot, keywords with decent search volume, at least 50 to 100 searches a month, and high competition. This tells you other people are making money from this keyword and a bid range you're comfortable with. Next up is Answer the Public. This is a fantastic tool for understanding the questions your audience is asking. You enter a keyword and it gives you a visualization of all the questions people are searching for related to that particular topic. It's great for finding long tail keywords, those longer, more specific phrases that have lower volume but much higher intent. For a practical example, you type in personal brand. Answer the Public might show you the question, how much does a personal brand consultant cost? That's a high intent long tail keyword you can target. Finally, Ahrefs or SEMrush or SEMrush, there are the professionals' grade tools. They give much more data, including how difficult it is to rank for a keyword, who is currently ranking for it, and what keywords your competitors are bidding on. Here's a competitor analysis hack expanded. With Ahrefs or SEMrush, go to the advertising or paid search section, enter your competitor's website URL, and the tool will show you every single keyword they are bidding on in Google Ads. And this is a gold mine. Don't just copy the keywords, look at their ad copy. What headlines are they using? What benefits are they highlighting? What call to action are they using? And this tells you what messaging is working in your market. Look for keywords they've been bidding on for a long time. If a competitor has been paying for a keyword for 6+ months, it's almost certainly profitable for them. So those are ones to target as well. These are the keywords you should target first. Absolutely. Your goal is to come up with a final validated list of 10 to 20 high intent keywords. These are the foundation of your entire strategy. Okay, so you have your keywords. Now you need a destination. You need a landing page. This is not your homepage. It's a standalone page with one job to get the visitor to take one specific action, to book a call, request a quote, and from there you can build a high converting landing page in under an hour using tools like Unbounce, Lead Pages, or Instapage. And here's the formula. First, the headline. It must match the keyword. If they searched for emergency plumber near me, your headline needs to be, need an emergency plumber in London? We're here in 30 minutes. It's a mirror. It builds instant trust. Next is the subline. Briefly explain the outcome. Get a qualified, experienced plumber to your door in 30 minutes, 24/7. Then the benefits as a bulleted list. 3 to 5 bullet points and no more. Not features, but actual benefits. A simple way to think about this is the so what test. Feature, we have 24/7 availability. Well, so what? So you have peace of mind knowing we're always here for you. That's the real benefit. Then, social proof. One strong testimonial, a screenshot of a 5-star review from Google or Trustpilot, a logo of a well-known client, something that builds instant trust and shows you're a credible choice. Then the call to action, and this is one big obvious button. The text should be specific and action-oriented. Not submit, but something like use get a free quote now or book your consultation. The colour of the button should contrast with the rest of the page and make it stand out. And finally, the simple form. So that is the name, email, phone number, and that's it. Every extra field you add will kill your conversion rate. Don't ask for their life story. You can gather more information on the follow-up call. No navigation menu, no links to your blog, no social media icons, no distractions, just a clear single path from their problem to your solution. Now it's time to drive traffic. We're going to use Google Ads because it's the fastest, most efficient way to get in front of people with wallet out intent. Here's the practical step-by-step setup. And first, what we're going to need to do is create a campaign. So go to your Google Ads account, click New Campaign. For the goal, choose Leads. For the campaign type, choose Search. Next, create an ad group. Create one ad group for each of your core high intent keywords or a small, tightly themed group of keywords. Don't lump all your keywords into one ad group. This is a common mistake. By creating tight themes, you can write more relevant ads, which leads to a higher quality score and lower costs. Then write your ads. For each ad group, write 3 different ads. This is crucial for testing. The formula is very simple though. For headline 1, it must include your main keyword. Best B2B lead generation agency. For headline 2, state the primary benefit. Get qualified leads guaranteed. For headline 3, add a trust sync signal or a secondary benefit. Rated 5 stars on Clutch. For the description, briefly explain your offer and include a call to action. We help B2B companies get more qualified leads with our proven system. Book your free strategy call today. The secret to profitable Google Ads isn't just about the keywords you target, it's about the keywords you don't target. These are called negative keywords. Negative keywords are the terms you add to your campaign to prevent your ad from showing up for irrelevant searches. For example, if you're a B2B lead generation agency, you'd want to add negative keywords like free or jobs or training or course or salary or example or even a template. You don't want to pay for clicks from people looking for a job or a free course. Think about all the ways someone could search for your keyword that would make them a bad fit. And those are the negative keywords you want to avoid. And you can find these lists of common negative keywords online specifically for your industry. And this one step can save you 50% or more on your ad spend by eliminating wasted clicks. Next, you need to set your budget and start small because you don't need a massive budget, anywhere between 10 or 20 pounds a day. The goal is to get data, not to spend a fortune. You can always increase your budget once you have a profitable campaign. Finally, launch and track. Launch the campaign, and now this is the most important part, which is to track your results. Google Ads makes this super easy. You need to know 3 numbers. First is the number of clicks. How many people are clicking your ad? Second, conversions. How many people are filling out your form? And third, cost per conversion. How much are you paying for each lead? Your goal is to get your cost per conversion as low as possible. And you do this by testing. Pause the ads that aren't working. Double down on the ones that are. Test new headlines. Test your new landing pages. And it's a process of continuous improvement driven by data, not guesswork. So why do I call this search arbitrage? Because you're taking advantage of a market inefficiency. So whilst your competitors are spending their time and money creating content for the top of the funnel, the Instagram reels, the TikTok videos, the viral LinkedIn posts, you're focused on the bottom of the funnel. That's where the wallet is. And whilst they're chasing views, you're chasing customers. Because so few SMEs are doing this systematically, the cost of acquiring a customer through this method is often much lower than the value of that customer. And that's the arbitrage. You're buying customers for less than they're worth. So, how do you know if this is actually working? Well, you need to know your numbers. There are 3 key metrics. First, customer lifetime value, or LTV. How much is a new customer worth to you over their entire relationship with your business? This isn't just their first purchase. It's every purchase they make. Second, cost per acquisition, or CPA. How much are you paying to acquire a new customer? This is your total ad spend divided by the number of new customers. And third, the payback period. How long does it take to make back the money you spent to acquire a customer? Your goal is to have a CPA that is significantly lower than your LTV. And a good rule of thumb is to aim for an LTV to CPA ratio of at least 3 to 1. That means for every £1 you spend on advertising, you're getting at least £3 back in lifetime value. And you want your payback period to be as short as possible. Ideally, you want to be profitable on the first transaction, but even if it takes a few months, as long as you know your numbers, you can invest in growth with confidence. Look at brand awareness because it isn't a waste of time, but most SMEs, especially in the uncertain economy, you need to focus on what works. You need to focus on what generates ROI today, not brand love in 3 years. And what works is high-intent search arbitrage. It's a simple, practical, and proven framework for generating leads and growing your business. It's definitely not sexy and it's not at the glamorous end of marketing, but it really does work. And in the end, that's all that matters. So stop chasing virality, stop trying to be famous, and start focusing on the wallet out moments, because that's where it makes a real difference and that's where the money is to be made. So if you enjoyed this content, please make sure that you like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next week.